We first met at school, and I know our stories are going to be different, but I would say that we probably first actually met when we were playing volleyball with a bunch of group. And then I would say our first real interaction was a poker game, and I beat Brian. But you can tell how you think we met.
This is the first time I've ever heard the volleyball story. That's brand new to me.
Wow, I was thinking about it.
The first interaction, in my opinion, was actually this awesome foam tent party that the school holds every first week of semester for some reason, so kids can make bad decisions. That's it. That's all I got. I don't need to say much more.
It took about 2 years until we actually decided to date.
Definitely,
Until I decided it was okay.
definitely friends first, but it was more so friend zoned first. You see a girl, and you can try and pursue her. She's a Husker fan, everything's good. But then you get too close too quick and you get friend zoned as the best friend.
At least we were good friends.
So that worked out well. First date, after many questions and non-answers and attempts at trying to get a first date for 2 years. We actually went to Texas Roadhouse. It was delicious. I got ribs like I always do.
And when we pulled up, we saw the American Pickers van, and Brian kind of geeked out.
The American Pickers on the History Channel on Wednesday nights is a great show.
Good plug.
It's a good plug. You know, it was great. It was good food, good people, the start of something great.
Something like that. When we kind of decided that we were going to try out this dating thing, I think Brian was a lot more into it than I was at first. But I'm so thankful that he kept persisting, or he was very persistent and very pursuing. Because I don't want to say broke me down, but he kind of did break me down. Now I think we're very strong and we've made it through a lot so far. So I think it's been really good a big progression since the beginning.
The relationship early on was interesting to say the least. There were some good times, some bad times, of course, such as life. But, you know, I was in it for the long haul, the stamina, so to say, and really stuck it out. That was one of the scariest parts about being in a relationship with somebody that you're really good friends with before you're in the relationship. So that's tough. That's the risk you kind of take, and the reward that I have for the risk is us sitting here today.
Brian's going to differ on this, but I know I said it out loud first. Brian would always do this thing where he'd squeeze my hand 3 times or tap my leg 3 times, or it was always in threes, and I kind of had an idea what it was, but he never said I love you out loud. And I don't necessarily remember the day, but one day I just finally said I love you, and then he's like, well, I love you too, and then that's it.
Here's the problem with that. I don't remember. I really don't. I have no idea. The best part about that whole situation, like I said, I don't remember. You can put that in there. It's all good. Whatever. But when we get in little tiffies, little fights, whatever, I love just to say, I love you. Because then she's like, quit saying that and tell me what's wrong. It's like, nothing, honey. I love you. That's the best part.
Well, I went on an interview with my current employer in Omaha. They offered me the job on the spot. and I accepted. And I called him, or maybe I texted you. I don't know. Either way, I said, hey, we're moving to South Dakota.
The challenging part of the whole situation was I knew she was going on the interview. I was pulling for her. I told her to apply.
You did.
The interesting thing was we actually went to Rapid City in October of the year before, 2011 for vacation. So then we actually moved out here. The worst part was is John Deere that I was working at, I was loving my job, everything was great, and then 6 months later, let's go to South Dakota. You know, it was okay. It was
good now.
It's good, no good now, 3 years later, but at the time it was fun. It was okay.
It brought us close together. You go ahead.
Action. Spare time. In our spare time, we do a number of different things, which varies from kayaking, mountain biking, in town, hiking once a year. We like to go to the movies sometimes. I like to be a self-proclaimed car guy.
It's expensive.
Hanging out with each other.
Because we're so in love.
Because we're so in love with one another. It's a beautiful thing. I screwed this up.
It was the weekend before Thanksgiving, and our families were coming over the following weekend, so we were kind of getting the house ready. And it was after midnight, and I was ready for bed, and Brian's like, come here in the kitchen. So I went in the kitchen, and he's kind of standing up against the counter, and then he kind of gives me a hug, and he starts saying this stuff about how he loves me and wants to spend the rest of his life with me.
I screwed up.
Still had no idea what was going on. And then he's like, reach into my pocket. And I'm like, okay. And at that time, I kind of had an idea of what he was doing. I reach into his pocket, and it's a ring. I pull it out. It's by itself, not in a box. Then I'm like, well, are you going to ask?
The problem was I had this ring in my pocket all damn day. And I couldn't find the right time, so we were cleaning, and then I realized I'm out of time. She's going to bed. I've got to get this done, because the kind of deal was, so to say, is that I had to have it done before the family came up.
No.
That was the deal at the time. The real deal was to have it done like 3 years before that.
Yeah.
I'm in the kitchen, because it's where we like to dance, in the kitchen. So I was like, this is a good spot to do it. I can't take her up into the hills at 12:30 at night, so this is my next best option at the moment. So she was getting ready to go to bed, and I figured I might as well do it right then, catch her off guard in my awesome sweatpants.
Elizabeth has been one of my best friends since 2nd grade. She's going to be very pregnant, or is very pregnant right now. Courtney has also been a longtime friend. We go back to elementary school as well, played soccer, played volleyball, played sports. We lived together in college at one point. She's been a very close friend of mine too, for a really long time. Callie's my dork twin. We were called dork twins in high school. Callie, we've been friends for a really long time as well. We are very similar, both tall, both used to be athletic, not so much me anymore. Teresa was my first roommate at AIB. We've been really good friends since. I'm so thankful that she had a bad roommate and I didn't have a roommate, and we got matched together. And Kirsten is a college friend, and she's been a very good friend, and I miss her dearly. Actually, I miss all of them dearly because nobody lives around here. But they have all been wonderful friends in my life for a really long time.
Seth Neubauer. Him and I have been friends for a long time. Went to the same school, grew up with him. Good guy. Seth's a good dude. He's a dude. Jeremiah Lewis. Met him after we moved up here, obviously. The funny part was I actually sold him some shirts. He is now a part of the affectionate group called Trainwreck, a group of us that hang out quite often and do hooligan things together. Big Volkswagen guy, business partner, friend, just a good guy. Evan Grell, he was almost a neighbor, pretty much a block away, and same kind of story with him and Seth. You know, I was really good friends with him all through middle school, all through high school. Evan. Kevin Glassoff, her brother, met him when he was still in high school. Him and I have got pretty close here for the last, especially the last couple years. He starting to grow up finally. He's a big boy now. Austin Moeller is he's my nephew. Good kid. I've known him since he was 12, 13, 14 years old. We do appreciate everything that everybody's done for us so far, especially us together, us as people. We do ask that you continue to support us because we're going to need help. We're going to need advice. We're going to need help when we have kids. We're going to need help with a lot of things.
Thank you to everybody who's traveled all this way, whether it be 10 miles or 1,000. I want to say thank you to my mom and dad for everything that they've done, not only to prepare for this wedding, but just in life general. Everything that I am right now is because of my family and friends too, but especially to my parents.
I didn't look bad.
No.
That's good enough. I'm good.
Brian, I'm so excited to call you my husband, and you are my best friend in the whole wide world. I'm so thankful that you're in my life and that we found each other, and I'm so excited to spend the rest of our lives together.
Words to my lady. It's been a roller coaster of fun, and we have approximately 60 more years to go. Hope you're ready for the long haul, because you're stuck with me now. So there's going to be more cars in the future. There's going to be babies. There's going to be new houses and everything else. But at the end of the day, you know, truly all we have is each other. So, and the rest of our family to help us and everything else. So let's just do it together.